What's up, Family Liberty? And what's up to all the people who aren't subscribed to this channel for some unknown, strange, unfathomable reason? Drill Sergeant, aka Admin Doug here, and I'm going to give you the bluff report. Right now in California, the National Guard is being mobilized. It's being federalized and mobilized. Right now, the National Guard of California is being federalized and mobilized against its own people. Right now, Pete Hegseth has written on X, as if that's the place to make these type of announcements, that the Department of Defense will be mobilizing the National Guard. Here's the story. On Friday, federal agents raided multiple workplaces in the Fashion District and other local areas in LA. The scene outside one targeted business turned violent after federal immigration authorities used flashbang grenades and pepper spray on people protesting the employees' arrests. And that's the first thing you need to know is the people are hitting the streets. They've had enough. They had enough in LA. That's a good thing. That's good news. And that has scared the hell out of them. You want to know how we know? Because this has been the reaction. This is something that scared animals do. When they feel cornered, when they see that the hordes of people that they want to exert control on will not be controlled. Oh, you thought this was a different type of message from Drill Sergeant? No, it's not. No, it's not. You did the right thing. This is why they're doing this, because they're afraid of you. Make them afraid. How about that? We're not done. Hours after that, hundreds rallied outside the Los Angeles Federal Building to condemn the crackdown and demand the release of service employees. International Union California, President David Huerta, the president of the Service Employees Union, they think it's a good political idea to detain the president of the Service Workers Union, all the while promising you no tax on tips, huh? You voted for that, didn't you, huh? It's not a good look. It's not a good look. He was injured and detained while documenting a raid. Many people, including children, were detained by ICE agents on Friday at the Edward Roybal Federal Building in downtown Los Angeles, the ACLU has reported. Following reports of small groups of violent individuals throwing large pieces of concrete at officers. I'll refrain from my happy dance at hearing that. Police authorized the use of so-called less lethal munitions at 8 p.m., LAPD said. A citywide tactical alert was issued shortly thereafter. This was Friday. Protests continued on Saturday. There's, of course, a predictable war of words between Los Angeles and California leadership versus the federal officials. Here's some quotes for you. As mayor of a proud city of immigrants who contribute to our city in so many ways, I am deeply angered by what has taken place. These tactics sow terror in our communities and disrupt basic principles of safety in our city. That's what Mayor Karen Bass posted on X on Friday, and she said, "We will not stand for this." But FBI director and cross-eyed kid bullied for being brown in the sandbox, Kash Patel, responded with, "We will." You will what? You will stand for this. You do stand for this. I know. You and every other maggot who supports this stands for this unconstitutional China-style federalization of the National Guard. And we're going to get to you guys. I hope you're watching. I hope you take your oath seriously. The sheriff's department said, quote, "We remind the public to exercise their right to protest peacefully with respect for safety of all community members. Our primary responsibility is to ensure public safety for all individuals present, both demonstrators, residents, and bystanders, by addressing potentially safety concerns while supporting the safe and lawful expression of the First Amendment rights." I find that to be hilarious, YouTube. Sons of Liberty, family, newcomers alike, because you tell me You tell me how to protest safely and peacefully when the National Guard has been federalized and sent to sick on its own people like the rabid dogs in the leadership, the drunken Hegseth. And he posts this. And the cartoon sock puppet of Vladimir Putin in the White House posts this. Your issuance of peaceful protest is a failure. Sheriff's Department, it's a failure. It's non-committal. It means nothing. In light of the activation and federalization of the army against its own people, your statement means nothing. Stephen Miller calls the anti-ICE riots in Los Angeles an insurrection against the laws and sovereignty of the United States. That's laughable, but I'm not even going to get to that. There's no time. This has to go up now. ICE Acting Director Todd Lyons said in a statement Saturday, the brave men and women of ICE were in Los Angeles arresting criminal illegals, aliens, including gang members, drug traffickers, and those with a history of assault, cruelty to children, domestic violence, robbery, and smuggling. I remind you, Sons of Liberty, I remind you, the ACLU reported, many people, including children, have been detained by ICE Friday at the Edward Roybal building. How many of those children were smugglers? How many of those children are drug dealers? How many of the people that they've been deporting, students, mothers, kids with cancer, are drug dealers and smugglers? If you still believe that, it's because you want to. MAGA, the line has been drawn in the sand. Your government is activating the military against you, whether you know it or not. You think your red hat will save you. It will not. I am reminded of Tiananmen Square. If you don't know the pictures, go find out. You see, the Chinese government thought that they could mobilize against their own people, and it was a massacre. But the world saw the 116th Division of the Chinese army did not follow the rules, did not follow their orders. So I look to you, National Guard. I look to you, reservists. I look to you, not Hegseth, those who actually took the oath and meant it. Did you mean it? What will you do? You see, I cannot tell you in LA the level of risk you're able to take on. You and your family have to decide that. But I am reminded of Tiananmen Square. I am reminded of the 116th in the Chinese army. The line has been drawn. Choices need to be made. It sounds like I'm doing or saying something that maybe shouldn't be done or said. Today is the reality of the situation we've been calling for 6 months. It's here, now, right now. What will you do, National Guard? You who took the oath, the same one that I did? Will you mobilize against your own countrymen? Will you walk down those streets with those tanks? And what if one of your own stands in front of it? I am reminded of Tiananmen Square in America, home of the free, land of the brave, the longest standing democracy on earth. And I'm reminded of Tiananmen Square. What will you do, National Guard? I'm waiting to see. And the rest of America who doesn't wear red hats and drink the piss of an orange marmalade fuckface. The rest of you watching closely, what will you do? Go on to Political Drain and figure out how we fight back. Join the Discord. That means the Sons of Liberty Discord. It's right down there. It's down there. I cannot tell you how to examine your level of risk for you and your family. Los Angeles, Californians, to those who took the oath, We're watching. And if you think the marches and the protests have been large every single weekend since January 20th, I guarantee you, you ain't seen nothing yet. Governor Newsom, while you're worried about trans people in sports in your state, you should have been worried about standing on the side of your citizens and stop kneeling down to fascists and trying to appease them for your own political sake. I see you, Gavin Newsom. What will you do? Nothing. Why don't you go chase off some more trans people out of sports? All one of them that exist. History will ask the question, where were you? I can tell you where I'll be. Where will you be? You don't like that message? Too late, because people stood up, because people saw what was happening around them, and they're so scared. They called in the National Guard because they know they can't beat you. They could only be doing these arrests if you allowed it, and you did not. Now you don't have to allow this. I am reminded of Tiananmen Square. If you've made it to the end of this video, type in the comment section, Drill Sergeant, I made it, Drill Sergeant, and you know what comes next.
And now it's time for the throw punch!